Hey everybody, it's Chris Guns. Welcome to PBA Radio. My guest today is J'Leon Love, fast rising middleweight contender. Some people think he's can't miss. He's got a deep division to deal with, and he just signed with Al Heyman, and he's working with Floyd Mayweather. So he's got a lot of things going on in his career, and I'm sure he's got a lot to talk about. Let's let him do it. J'Leon Love. J'Leon Love, thanks for joining us, PBA Radio, man. Pleasure talking to you.
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Where were you born, J'Leon?
Inkster, Michigan.
And what was it like growing up there?
Growing up in Inkster, Michigan was rough.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard town. You know, a lot of drugs, a lot of killing, murders. You know, the whole nine. Just the project. That's where I grew up. I love it. You know what I mean? Because it's where I learned a lot. You know what I mean? Just learned a lot, man. You know, I learned what not to be. I learned what to become from the streets of Inkster, Michigan.
And the streets are rough, but inside your house could be another whole story. What was the Love household like?
The Love household was a great family, man. My dad, a good man, hardworking man, and my mom, a beautiful, hardworking woman. And you know, they didn't take no crap. So when I did stuff out on the street, I was always worried about what I was gonna get when I came home. So, you know, whether it was, I would rather deal with the police than deal with my parents. You know, when I got in trouble. So, you know, my mom was a no nonsense, type of lady. She didn't take nothing. She didn't play nothing, and my dad was the same way. You know, they made me. My mom used to always tell me, "You gonna be something because you're so hard headed." You know what I mean? So she used to make me sit down at the table and trace over my autograph over and over again. You know, for the longest. Because she had that faith, and whatever it is that I do and put my mind to it, I will get it. You know what I mean? So boxing has been the thing to do.
So you had a dad. Not every boxer does, but did your dad get you into boxing? Is that where you got into it?
Yeah, well, it's my stepdad, but, you know, I look at him as my real dad. I always say that. But, actually, I used to fight all the time, man. Like, maybe 4 times a day I would fight in the street. And so, it came to a point where I was fighting guys way older than me, like, you know, adults. And so they would come down the street and talk to my parents. And then, you know, my dad was finally like, yo, you know, we were sitting down, me and my cousin, and my older cousin and my dad, and they was like, yo, you think you can fight? You know, I was like, yeah, man, I can fight anybody, and da-da-da-da. I said, okay, man, we're going to take you somewhere where you can fight all you want. And they took me to Kronk Boxing Gym. That's been it ever since.
Wow, man. And how old were you?
I was like 14 during the time.
What'd you think when you first walked in the Kronk and you felt that heat?
Wow, man. Well, first, when you walk into recreation, you know, you see so many kids doing different things, basketball, swimming, you know, football, so much. So you go in this basement, man, and once you hit the basement, it's like 105 degrees as soon as you hit the door. Go down these stairs, and there's this huge red door. And you can just hear people punching the bags and, you know, the boxing noises that you normally hear in the gym. So we open it up, man, and here you go. So, like, maybe about 30, 40 people in the gym. You know, kids, adults, trainers. And I was like, man, this is smooth right here. You know, I see guys in the gym sparring. I see girls in the gym sparring. You know, and I was like, man, well, you know, let's see where it takes me. So, I met my first trainer, Walter Smith. And, you know, he was an older guy, maybe about 90 at the time when I got down there. And he came in and, you know, they threw me in there. My dad told him, no, he think he'll fight, always fight in the street, you know. And they put me in there with a girl and she let me have it. So, you know, I trained every day after that hard because, you know, they would make fun of me like, yo, boy, you got beat up by a girl. You ain't so tough and, you know, a lot of that. So I trained every day. To try to get back at this girl. And when I finally did, you know, they looked at me like you were supposed to do that. You know what I mean? So, you know, it kind of taught me some type of discipline, and you know what I mean. Made your brain think, you know, work a lot harder than you normally think.
Yeah, it's crazy that you had over 100 amateur wins alone. You had over 100 amateur fights and over 100 amateur wins, right? And you started at 14. So what do you remember about your amateur career, and what was your favorite moments of your amateur career?
Wow, man, just the amateur period, man. Just you know, being young and weighing in, and you know, we used to fight like every weekend, sometimes twice a weekend. You know what I mean? Like Friday we'd leave out, go somewhere to Chicago, Ohio, and we'd fight Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Then come home and go to school the next day. That's how we got so many amateur fights. We were always fighting. It was an every weekend type of thing. So, you know, that's how, you know, we accumulated so many fights. But I just love the amateurs, man. I love boxing, period. You know what I mean? So, you know, just to travel, go somewhere, and see the guys that you were fighting, and they were good, you know what I mean? And you were good, and you guys were about to fight, you know what I mean? And you got so many different guys, and you grow up, you know what I mean? I grew up with so many guys from Ohio, Cincinnati, Toledo, you know, and Chicago. And we're all grown. Some of us now pros, you know, some still amateur and things like that. But man, it's, you know, I just love it. You know, traveling, meeting different people. That was the best part.
Yeah, where did you go? You're lucky that when you get into boxing, you get to travel and see these things that you would never have gotten to see. Maybe, you know, where's some of the places that you went to that you're happy you got?
Oh man, we went to. I got to travel overseas. I got to go to Romania. Bucharest, Romania. I fought in the World Cup games there. We got to go to England. You know, just so many different places. Russia. You know, places that people go and you know, spend so much money to go, and here it is, just me from, you know, Jay Leon from the neighborhood, get to travel and represent the USA, and you know, go and fight for the country.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be doing that.
Did you try to make the 08 Olympic team?
Yeah, we tried, but we suffered an injury that kept me back from everything. I was in a car accident. I actually was in a car accident qualifying for the U.S. Championships, and I qualified. I won, and I was going to head to nationals. And on our way back from the tournament, I was asleep in the car, and we lost control, and I flew through the windshield, and I broke my C3 in my neck, had brain swelling and the whole nine, man. It was a terrible thing, and from there I had to sit out and watch everybody else compete and go, and I had to sit out and stuff. So it was a terrible moment, you know, because I thought I would never be able to box again, but you know, God is good, and this was my calling, so He made it for us, and I healed very well, very fast, and I got back to it.
Thank God, man. That was crazy. I never even heard you got into a car accident. Wow, man.
Oh yeah, it was terrible, man. It was maybe one of the worst moments of my life, because you know, I finally found something that I was good at. You know, I was always good at getting in trouble. You know what I mean? That was what I was good at. You know, so my mom was saying, "Well, you good at something and getting in trouble." So you know, I finally found something that was good, that had my attention, that I loved, and that was boxing. So you know, to be in this accident and for a doctor to tell you, "Hey, look, you know, it's pretty much a wrap on boxing," you know, that was the worst thing in my life, you know, because I thought, you know, hey, this is it. I'm going to be the champion of the world. I'm going to make all the money in the world. I used to tell them, I'm going to make all the money in the world, get you this and get you that. That was my dream. That was my goal. And, you know, and I suffered a bad injury where I could, you know, it was a possibility that I couldn't do it anymore. So
you had that accident, it was in, 08, was it? Or 07?
Yeah, it was actually in 2007, but I had to sit out the whole 2007, you know, and so I couldn't do anything. I was just sitting, watching, you know, keeping up with the tournaments and stuff like that, but I had to sit in a hard and soft cast for almost a whole year and go through so much physical therapy and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, it was a terrible moment.
So why did you turn pro when you did? Why didn't you stick around for the London games?
You know, man, you know, the Olympics was my dream. I wanted it so bad, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, once we didn't make it, it was just pretty much like, okay, well, you know, don't let this hold you back. What's the next step?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and we said, let's go ahead and go pro. But you know, and it seems that it worked out best for me. You know, God has a plan. My mom tells me it's a time for everything, and God said this was my time there. So I turned pro, and here I am today, doing pretty good.
And what did you think of the U.S. men's performance in London? What is our problem, man?
Go ahead.
What's our problem is what I'm saying.
Man, you know, you can't blame it. It's a lot of young guys, man. We don't have too much international experience.
That's the problem. That's one of it.
I think so. Like, you know, back not too long ago, man, we used to go all the time. You know, we used to just go do duels.
Yep.
All the time, wherever, Dominican Republic, you know, Europe, anywhere. We would go and just we were fighting a duel, and that was the experience that you needed. And then you go to the World Championships, you know, whatever. Some qualify, some don't. And then you go to the Olympics, right there, the big stage. And it's kind of like, man, you know, you just hit with it all on the big stage. And you got so many guys with almost 200 or 300 amateur fights, been all over the world fighting some of the best. And, you know, these young guys from the States, you know, are not ready for it yet. You know, it's not always about the coaching. It's just about the experience that we lack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about the experience. You know, you said it yourself. You would fight twice every weekend sometimes. You know, now they fight like once every 2 weeks or once a week or something like that. It's just not enough. And then you see them when they're going up against the Cuban team or any team really. They just look drowned out by experiences. You know.
Right.
And I'd be a fool not to ask you about Claressa Shields, fellow Michigan native. What'd you think of her winning that?
I'm proud of that girl, man. That girl really did something, you know. The first woman, you know, African American at that, you know what I mean, and you know, made history, gold medalist.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that girl. She really did something, you know. And it's so many girls looking up to her now. You know, like I said, Michigan is rough, Flint, wherever you go, Flint, Detroit, Inkster, you know what I mean? And to come out of that and to, you know, and to make a name for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and do what she did is incredible. So,
yeah.
you know, I'm so proud of the girl. You know, if she got a big smile, she need to keep it going. You know, and keep shocking the world and letting her know that whether male or female, you can do it. Just keep grinding.
That's right. Girl's a beast.
Oh yeah.
And when you turned pro, do you remember who you turned pro against and what the result was and where it was?
When I turned pro, I fought a Vincent. I remember all my fights, man. You know, I'm only 13 in the game right now, but you know, I can remember the majority of them because every fight is a memorable fight for me. But I fought a Vincent Burkhalter, and I stopped him in the first round. You know, when you turn pro, you know, you carry very well.
Yep.
You know, that just comes part of it. They're trying to build you. You know, so I was fighting guys I'm supposed to beat, you know, and, you know, that's how it is. But I fought a Vincent Burkhalter, stopped him in the first round, and, you know, went forward and stopped a couple other guys after that.
Yep. And your 8th pro fight, you fought in Flint, Michigan. What kind of crowd was there to cheer you on?
Oh, man, it's nothing like Michigan, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, we fought on a Darrell undercard.
Yeah. And
it was amazing. Anthony Darrell was the main event, and you know, Michigan came out. You know, I always sit back and just think, like, man, I'm gonna win a world title in Michigan. You know, so everybody can see me in Detroit or wherever. You know, and they really came out, and the crowd was crazy. You know, we were fighting outside. You know, I think it was one of the hottest days I've been in Detroit, in Michigan and Flint, and so it was a hot day, man, and the people still came out and they just supported us, you know.
Yeah, and you made it even hotter. Yeah, man. And it was fast though. You didn't.
Oh yeah, it was fast. I think we stopped the guy in the first round as well. Yeah.
First round, Guy Packer.
Guy Packer. I think maybe this guy had the worst record in boxing or something like that, but you know, he still came out and tried to throw him. So.
Yeah. Hey, you need guys like that, I guess.
Yeah.
After 3 more wins, you fought a guy named Joe De Los Santos on a big Danny Garcia fight with Amir Khan. Tell me about fighting on a card of that magnitude. What was that like?
Man, like I said, you see so many fights fighting in Mandalay Bay. The dream is to fight in Las Vegas, off the top. That's, if you're a boxer, that's what you want to do. Fight in Las Vegas, whether it's at the MGM, Mandalay Bay, the Caesars Palace,
Yeah.
That was a part of your dream. So, to even have that opportunity was incredible. But then, let alone HBO, whether I was televised or not, it didn't really matter. I was still so excited, and I was able to come out and just walk walk that ring entrance that so many others have walked already.
Yeah.
So it was incredible. But to be on the Amir Khan, Danny Garcia undercard was a great opportunity, and we did what we had to do.
Yep, and Danny Garcia, and you just actually signed with Al Heyman for that fight card, and you're already on the biggest card of your life with Danny Garcia, who's also managed by Al Heyman. Well, tell me about Al Heyman.
Oh man, Al Heyman is a powerful man, a good man. I can't say nothing bad about him at all. He opens up a lot of doors for you. You know what I mean? And I'm just blessed to be on the team. A guy that works hard and works hard for his fighters.
And you
so, I thought it's not too much to say. Only you can just look at his track record and see what he's done so far.
He's a quiet man, but he makes moves. Seriously.
And he does major moves. So, shout out to Al Heyman and staff.
Shout out Al Heyman, doing it big. And did you get a chance to make it to the main event?
Oh yeah, I did. Well, let's see. You talking about the Danny Garcia American?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
I grew up in the amateurs with Danny Garcia, so to see him on the big stage was, a good. I was happy for him. But I do this little fantasy boxing thing on Twitter, and everybody asked me, during the fight, like, who did you think would win? I think there wasn't too many people that had Danny Garcia winning. I didn't know he was gonna, put Amir Khan down like that. I just had him beating Amir Khan, because he was an underdog. I had faith in him. I know coming up when I fight for a world title, I may be the underdog, so I want people to, to have some type of faith in me as well. So,
I'm sure there was.
So I had Danny Garcia winning, and boom, he puts him down and stops him. You know what I mean? So we were going crazy. I was so happy for the kids, man, and it was an amazing moment.
Big night for you and the whole team Al Heyman, I guess. What was the after party like?
Nah, I don't do too much after party, man. I chill with my family. My mom, my lady, my sisters. You know what I mean? My cousins, my whole family. We just, walked around. It was the best part about it was walking through the casino. And people knew that you were fighting. You had fought on the card and was there. They wanted to take so many pictures. And I think I took like 100 pictures. I don't want to exaggerate, but it seemed like 100 pictures. And signed so many autographs and did interviews, and that's like the best part, man. Outside of getting the victory, because I think about it. Everybody always says, "Dang, Jay Leon, bad Jay Leon. This boy was so bad," and I look at him. You know what I mean? Sign the autographs, and I think back to when my mom used to sit me down at the table and have me practicing my autograph, and here it is. I do it perfect now.
That's crazy.
Sign the autograph, so it's pretty good.
That's actually a good idea. I think I'm going to do that with my kids. Make them want to make something out of themselves.
Yeah.
Then you made your Showtime debut on Saturday night on the Matisse Ajose card. Your fight became the lead in fight because Randall Bailey injured his back, thus canceling his fight with Devin Alexander. How excited were you to hear that you'd be making TV? Was there any pressure?
I was so excited. Just like I said, any fight is exciting, especially when you get to fight on these big name cards. Devin Alexander, former champ, and in Las Vegas once again. So that already had me going. But then to hear that I'm fighting, I could possibly be in a 10-rounder. And on live on Showtime was another boost to the excitement, man. So I was down and I was so ready for it, because I worked so hard day in and day out. So I talked to my team, we discussed it. They said, let's go for it. You're more than ready for it. Let's do it. And, you know, we went for it. And I couldn't wait to perform. You know, I didn't let the pressure get to me. You know, a lot of people let pressure get to them. And I didn't think of it as any pressure. You know, I just, you know, this is what I was made for. God put me in this position for a reason. So, you know, I was just going to go out and do what I had to do. So.
And tell me about the fight. It was a rough, he was an awkward guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, a very awkward guy, man. You know, that's why, I wanted to do so much more, but he was so awkward, you know what I mean? You didn't know where this dude was going to punch from, you know what I mean, or what he was going to do. So, you know, we just, you know, stuck to the basics, threw a lot of jabs, hit his body. We seen that body was kind of flabby, so we went downstairs majority of the fight. And I knew, you know, I had 10 rounds to box this guy. Wild rush. You know, don't take your time to set your shots up. And that's what we did. And we caught him and hurt him. And I believe, he with being frustrated and then being hurt, he didn't want to get stopped because it was coming. You know, I had him. I seen it. And, he went to, try to throw me out the ring, which was unexpected, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, he was trying to do his Thunder Lips impression, make you Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
You started solving him after a couple rounds, and you could tell his frustration got serious. When did you feel like he was starting to get desperate?
I seen it like toward the 6th round. The 6th round was a good round for us because, you know, we were still establishing that jab. And you know what I mean? And I started landing more frequently than I was before. So once I started catching them more and more, and I see I can hear them, you know, from the body shot taking a toll, I said, all right, let's turn it up. I went to the corner and said, okay, Jalen, how you feel? I said, let's go. We're going to turn it up. You know, we're going to let our hands go more. And we came out blazing the next round. And that was the 7th round, and we was ready, and we kept it going and until the crazy issue happened.
And how disappointing was it to you that that's how your Showtime debut ended? Did it
bother you? Sucked, you know, because you want to perform and get a crowd, you know, what they want to see, which is a stoppage or a knockout. You know, that's what, you know, everybody wants to do that. But, things happen for a reason. I mean, it happened. But, you know, a lot of people can see that, you know, the stoppage was coming. You know, we had the guy. But, it kind of sucked that it had to end that way.
Yeah, and when you see Al Bernstein and Barry Tompkins there, and you got Mark Too Sharp Johnson, who made his debut too. He was debuting as the commentator for Showtime.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind when you see all those guys that you must have grew up with?
Well, you know, these are guys that you see on TV all the time. And I was so happy. Like, man, these guys are commentating. You know, my fight. It's incredible. You know, and so you want to do. Put your best into it and, show how sharp you can be. And that's what I was thinking. Just stay sharp. You know what I mean? Use your head. Think. It's a thinking game. Just show your ability and skill, So that's what we did, and we got the victory.
Yeah, you were sharp for Too Sharp. What did Mark Johnson say anything to you?
Yeah, he told me, man, he said, look, we could have had an easier night, man, if you would have threw the left hook behind the right hand. And when we finally did, he was right. It was there. We caught him and hurt him bad. And, we almost had him out of there. And we think we would have, did that, a little earlier, Maybe we would have got the stoppage earlier, maybe not. But, the kid was tough, you know what I mean? He was tough. He could take a punch. I can punch pretty well, so I can see he can take a punch. And so, I just knew, like, he told me that, keep it up, keep working hard. You got the skill. He said, you don't see too many guys at a young age that, can do how you, went through what you went through and, put and show your skill on TV. You ain't let the pressure get to you. So, he gave me a lot of good advice, and now, I was happy.
Yeah, you hooked up with Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather, and now you're on the biggest shows of your life. What do you think? Where do you think you are now in your career?
Man, I'm still just a young man, just trying to get it. Right now, we took a step up, and right now we're still at the beginning. But from what I hear, a lot of people, I got to see a tweet online. Oscar De La Hoya tweeted, "Let's try Love versus Angulo," and just to even be mentioned with those type of guys is incredible. You know what I mean? So that means I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
And maybe down the line those will be the fights that I'll be having. So right now I just want to keep continuing to growing as a young fighter out here. Stay hungry, stay sharp. You know what I mean? And keep showing the world that I am that real good fighter that people say I am, and I can perform very well.
Yeah, what's it like to see a fighter like Floyd Mayweather show interest in you? I mean, you grew up seeing him on TV and had to be admiring him. What's it like seeing him interested in you?
Incredible. It's incredible, man. Like I said, I just sit back and I just think like, years ago you would never think I'd be here. You would think I'd be dead or in jail somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So this is amazing. I'm telling you, it hits me every day. I wake up and some of the things that people say to me, and to know that you got the hottest fighter, the best fighter to ever lace up the gloves. You know what I mean? Giving you advice and saying, "Yo, you're a hell of a fighter," and things like that, man. It's crazy. It's so surreal, man. So,
yeah.
I just thank God, for blessing me, putting me on the straight road, and just guiding me. All I can do is thank God. All the supporters that backed me, even though when I was doing bad, in the streets and stuff like that. But I just thank everybody for not giving up on me, and here I am, and I'm not gonna give up on boxing. I'm gonna keep going hard.
That's it. And my next question was, where do you rank Floyd all time? And you said he's the best of all time. You think that?
I definitely think that. I mean, it shows. People say, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was a great fighter as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Muhammad Ali suffered losses as well too. And Muhammad Ali fought for a great cause as well. You know what I mean? So there's so many other great fighters besides those. But I think to me, Floyd Mayweather, with the skill and his ability and the things that he's done so far and the weight classes that he's conquered, you know what I mean? That shows, man. That's the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah. When you met Floyd, did anything surprise you about the way he was, or did you expect him to be the way he was?
No, my first time meeting Floyd, I didn't think he was the way he is. You see him on TV, and you get the image like, oh, this guy, cocky dude. You know what I mean? But man, it's a totally different person. So man, the dude will give you a shirt right off his back.
Yeah.
So I mean, as I got to training and be around him more often. And now I'm around them all the time. I can't believe it. I tell people all the time, man, you wouldn't believe it. It's not people tell me, man, Floyd so this and Floyd is that. That's only what you see on TV, or you know what I mean. But the guy is so much different than that.
Yeah, and you're making your way up the middleweight ladder. It's a deep class in and around 160. What'd you think of the Andre Ward, Chad Dawson fight? You have to know Andre from the amateur days. What'd you think of it when you were watching that fight?
Oh man, Andre Ward is a complete fighter, man. The dude is an intelligent fighter. I can't say nothing bad about Andre Ward. I look up to him. He's doing great, man. He's beating these guys. Chad Dawson, I already had Andre Ward beating him. And I was telling guys around the gym, if Ward really took it there, he could stop Chad. And that's exactly what he did. So, Andre Ward is the next. Even though Andre Ward still is completing his career, and still so much to go. You can honestly put him under Floyd. He definitely hasn't achieved as much as Floyd has. And, you can't even compare the same careers, but you can put him next under there, possibly being one of the next best fighters in the world. He is apparently the best fighter in the world under Floyd Mayweather. This guy's doing good now. He went from 160 to 168. He could possibly go to 175, like heavyweight. You never know where it can go, but the dude is an all-around fighter. You see him beating his guys. He went through the Super 6 tournament. Easy. So that just shows you the dude is it. That's what that's what boxing needs, and that's the next best thing right now.
Yeah. Did you ever spar him? spar with?
No, I never sparred him. I sparred Chad. You know, a couple of rounds. You know, well, not too much, but you know, before the fight, and you know, it was good work. But you know, you can honestly say that you know, Andre Ward was on a different level. This man was almost flawless that fight.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, perfect. And how about the weekend before? Did you see the Gennady Golovkin debut on HBO?
No, I did see it. The dude is not too bad, man. He's a tough fighter too, good, strong fighter, and I think he did very well. You know, I caught a couple rounds. I didn't see the whole thing. I know the opponent was pretty game. You know, tough, never been stopped. So you know what I mean. To go out there and stop these guys that's never been stopped and game as they are, you know, that shows you know you got what it takes, and you can possibly be that thing too. That next hot commodity.
Yeah, Golovkin could be the best middleweight in the world right now, you know. And how about Sergio Martinez and Chavez Jr.? Who you got winning that this weekend?
Man, I'm going for Sergio Martinez. I don't normally do the picks like that, but you know, I'm going for Sergio Martinez only because you know Sergio Martinez, man, is a better fighter, honestly. And you know, if you think about it, you know, I think. Chavez Jr. is kind of overrated. He's a good fighter, tough fighter, you know what I mean? And he showed me a lot more in his last fight with Andy Lee. But, you know, I think Sergio Martinez, you know, he's in the shade. He's in the dark right now, you know, and he's not really getting credit that he deserves. So I think that, you know, I'm going to go with him. He's more hungry, it seems like, you know. And Chavez Jr. has fought some tough guys, but hasn't fought the guys like Sergio Martinez, you know what I mean? And hasn't fought the guys that Sergio Martinez has fought. So at the end of the day, you know, I think Martinez will prevail.
Yeah, I agree with you, but a lot of people I'm talking to are picking Chavez. They're thinking he might be too big for Sergio. I don't believe that, though. They said that about Pat.
I don't think so either, man. You know, I mean, styles make fights. You never know. You know, Andy Lee was winning boxing on the outside until he got caught. He just was caught. You know what I mean? So you never know. You know, maybe he what if you know, he's behind on the scorecards and can't catch Sergio Martinez? You know, then what? You know, so it's boxing. All I hope for is just a good fight. You know, you get these fights that are hyped up. And then it sucks when you get there, you know what I mean? So I just hope for a great fight.
Yeah, Sergio got a tough style, and he's also a southpaw, so it makes it even way more hard. You know, people forget that, I think, sometimes. But I'm going with Sergio, too. What do you think of Canelo and the Josecito Lopez fight? What do you think of Canelo?
I think that should be another good fight. You know, I normally go for the underdogs. You know, I told you that earlier. So, I think, you know, Josecito Lopez, they say, oh, he's too small, you know, and this and that. But the guy is showing, you know, he's strong. He's weight, you know, he's showing like, hey, let's take this fight for no reason, you know. So I think he definitely has a chance. We seen him against Victor Ortiz. He came out firing, and you know, he showed that he was a fighter, you know, and like I said, I hope for a good fight for that one. You know, I'll go for the underdog. So, you know, I'm always down to see upsets. So hopefully we get to see one. If not, you know, if you told me, AJ, what's a safe bet, then I would go with Canelo. But I want to see the upset, so I'm gonna go with the younger kid, Josecito Lopez.
And you got all those guys that I already mentioned. You got Carl Froch. You got Arthur Abraham, Daniel Gill. How far are we from seeing you in the ring with one of those guys?
I don't know. You know, that's all up to my team. But, you know, me, I'm a fighter, you know, and, you know, if I can fight them, you know, in my next couple of fights, I will. You know, but we just going to keep working. We're going to go back to the gym, go hard like we normally do, and keep progressing, you know. If you keep progressing, you know, and just showing that, you know, we are a force in the middleweight division. And, you know, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get there. I'm going to definitely get there. You know, there's no doubt about it. You know, I just want to keep performing well and showing the world that I'm serious.
And how easy do you make 160?
We make 160 really easy, especially being out here in this Vegas heat, man. It's not. We make it fairly. And, you know, I work hard. So we're working hard. You know, the weight comes off very easy, and you know, we ain't gonna be in the middleweight division for a while. So, and until that changes, you know, we were actually thinking, you know, how low can we go? You know what I mean? So, you know, we'll see how low we can go. If you know, maybe you know, see how, you know, the next weight division under me. But we never know. You know, I'm tall for the weight, and you know, I'm pretty strong for the weight. So, you know, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we talked about, just one more question. We talked about the Money Team already and Floyd Mayweather. What did you think of when you first met 50 Cent, and what kind of businessman he is?
Oh man, I mean, he's huge outside of boxing. You see, like, pretty much in every adventure that he touches, you know, he's successful. So, you know, movies, you know, the music, and then investments and things like that, you know, he's doing very well. So, I mean, you know, to me, 50 Cent, you know, I've always been a fan of 50 Cent, you know, as a rapper. So, you know, it was pretty cool to meet him, and you know, and now he's in boxing, and we see him on a regular basis now, and you know what I mean. It's you know, it's kind of crazy, but you know, it's a good opportunity, and just to see where it goes, you know. And I think pretty much with him being in the game, you know, it's going to be kind of interesting to see where it goes with him in boxing.
And when are you going to be in the ring again, Jay Leon?
You know, it's all up to my team. We're ready to go. We're right back in the gym. So hopefully next month or something. You know, I'll keep everybody updated on my next date.
And you got a lot of fans and a fan base that's growing every day, every time out. And you're already tweeting. We already know. How do your fans follow you? What's your?
Man, you can catch me on Twitter, definitely, man. Follow me. I tweet back. You know, I do the retweet thing. If it's funny, you know, whatever. You know, just get at me at 2012 J Love on Twitter. Facebook me, J Leon Love, J'_Leon, last name Love, LOVE. You know, poke me, whatever. You know the whole thing that you do on the Facebook. So yeah, get at me. I even got an Instagram. I'm pretty smooth on the Instagram. You can at me at J Leon Love on Instagram. So you know, I'm just trying to keep up with all the social networks.
All right, everybody, follow J Leon Love. I'll follow you, J Leon. Follow me at Chris Two Guns, man. Look out for me.
I got you. All right, sounds
Thanks
good,
for your time, man. Good luck with everything, my man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, have a good one. And there you have J Leon Love. Exciting guy, young guy. Some people think he's a can't-miss bet for World Championship someday soon. And follow him on Twitter at 2012 J Love. I appreciate his time, and I appreciate your listening. Follow me on Twitter at Chris Two Guns. Thank you.